Hi, hello, and welcome to the long overdue Sketchbook number 13 tour. Now, I've actually filmed this twice before. I lost the first time I did it, the second time I just didn't like how it came out, and my neighbors have been playing very, very loud music for the past 2 weeks. It has not been fun, but I'm finally here to film it. Let's go. This, so far, is my favorite sketchbook. I know I said sketchbook number 8 was my favorite, and then I said sketchbook number 11. Now it's sketchbook number 13. This page, I watched some Jess Karp and Chris Hong, and they did watercolor figure studies, and I wanted to do it, and I really, really like how this guy came out. Yeah. This is Reef. I love him. He's my shark merman boy. I love him a lot. He and this woman here, Morwen, are going to be a couple. Saya. I haven't figured out which story yet. I think I'm going to put them in my big world building project, but not sure yet. I just love drawing them. Saya. Love her. You would have heard me talk about her in other sketchbook tours, so I'll just try to remember to leave a link to them so that I don't make this video as long as I did the last version of this tour. Then we have Trevor and Bryn. These are the main characters in the comic I'm working on that I really need to get back to. He is ex-military. She is cryptozoologist and a regular biologist, zoologist. That's her stuff, what she loves, cryptozoology. And she gets kidnapped, he goes to save her, and they fight monsters. I can't wait to post that, but I need to finish it first. So most of my stories involve action, so lots of gunfighting, sword fighting, fighting in general. So I needed to do some gun studies. I'm still not that good at drawing guns, but the studies were helpful. And then I drew them holding the gun. Okay, my table is covered in paints because I'm working on a painting, so I'm trying not to hit anything down. The comic that I was talking about with these two is set in a desert mine shaft, mine tunnels, so I did some rock studies in ink and alcohol markers. I think they came out pretty well. I love these. I should have posted this on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram for whenever I remember to post stuff. I needed the leader of the mining company, the manager, so I did some idea making here. I went with this guy. This guy was too young, this guy looked too nice, and this guy's too hot. So, went with this guy. I posted this on Instagram. I wasn't sure what I wanted to draw, but I knew I wanted to draw, so I just took some colored pencils and did some studies. As you can see, I am not very good at drawing animals, but I tried. I really like how these came out. I imagine that she's his grandmother and that they're very close. More Bryn. More studies because of the whole mine setting. So, clamp, detonator box, and a trolley. This character I created in sketchbook number 11. And I talked about him more there too. He's short, so his official jacket from the school of magic that he goes to, he has to wear it like this, or else it gets in his way. I really like him. And these two will have a romance. I like her too. She's missing an arm and a leg. And I need to work more on the prosthetics, but prosthetics are very hard to draw. I wanted to do some like urban sketching, but I never went back to finish coloring it in, and I don't feel like coloring it in now. Some ink drawings. I meant to go back and finish this page, but then I didn't feel like doing it, so I didn't. So this is Scott. I am actually working on this story right now. I was working on it up until yesterday, and I'm going to work on it a little more, the outline. because it's going to be a book series, and I wanted to make it a comic, but comics take so long. So I'm making it a book series, and then maybe I'll adapt it into a comic later. But it's going to be 8 books long, and you'll see some more of the characters in his story later. I talk more about this story in like the last 3 or 4 videos that I posted. So if you want to hear more about it, you can check out those videos. I really love this story. It's a sci-fi mystery. Walter. I hadn't drawn him for a while, so here he is. I need to draw him and Olivia more. That's another comic idea that I don't know when I'm going to get to, but I love the characters, so I keep drawing them. This is Talon. She is in Scott's story. She is like his contact, you know, like how detectives have informants. Well, she's kind of like that, but they will end up in a romance, and I can't wait. The overarching story is his son got kidnapped 3 years before the beginning of the story. The case ran cold, and then the first mystery that they solve gives them their first lead after 3 years in finding what happened to his son. I wanted to practice more with gouache, so I did these one day. I don't know why it dirtied the other page, because I painted in gouache in my new sketchbook number 14, and this never happens. And I use black, like pure black. It's going to be, that portrait is going to be the next video after this, even though I've already filmed it. So I don't know what happened here. But anyway, these look good for the time, but I think I'm much better at gouache right now. I should mention I started in September 23 and ended on February 5th. And I am filming on March 5th. So this is Scott and Talon. I really need to work more on character interactions and characters together, because I have a problem with keeping character sizes consistent. So you'll see me drawing couples more later on in the story, and you know, they end up in a relationship. My avatar. I have a video, a Meet the Artist video. I'll try to remember to link it. But yeah, this is my new avatar, and the Q is for Quill, because I'm using the pen name Aiden Quill for all these stories that you're seeing, and some novels that I've already posted on Amazon. Link in the description. So yeah. And then for Scott, I kind of wanted him to have very shaggy hair and look a bit unkept at the beginning of the story, and then as the story progresses, he kind of cleans up himself. But yeah, he's supposed to be the kind of guy who gets deep into his work and it takes forever to resurface. I was watching Rod Gun videos. I think it was the video where he was just drawing random heads. I think it was like 100 heads, cartoon heads. And I decided to join in and did these. This is not my usual style. I don't think I've ever drawn characters like this, but I kind of like it. Like I say, it's not my style, but I do see myself using some of these faces for a children's book idea I have. So yeah. More Scott and Talon. After drawing him like this, because in the first case they have to go into a club, so he dresses up and pulls his hair back, and after I drew him like this and then her like this, I realized that they just switched hairstyles. It's cute. He works with a team as a part of a company that I'm still trying to figure out a name for. So this is, I think this is going to be their secretary, and there's another character. Hold on, I have my laptop right here. I have so many characters, but her name was another name, and then I changed it to, you know, I'd really love it if my laptop worked better. I changed her name to Valora, so I think that's what I'm going to go with her. And she actually has a romance that is going to be book number 6. Yeah, she falls for this tech guy. It's going to be adorable. Anyway, so more Scott and Talon. She is missing both of her legs, so she's a cyborg. There are many cyborgs in this story, but not as many as there should be. It will be explained at another time, but yeah, she's missing both her legs. Yeah. Oh, this was a video. This was definitely a video. I decided to draw them. He used to be a firefighter, so I figured he would keep up with his exercise. And this drawing of him kind of gives off a Dante Vale from Huntic vibe, which I don't have a problem with, so I might keep it. I am not sure. The middle part I find is kind of hard to draw, but I love Dante Vale, so I might keep it. I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet, but his color is definitely green and her color is definitely purple. And yeah, I just wanted to draw her more. Draw them kissing in each other's colors because I wanted to. You can see more of that in that video. Then I realized I hadn't drawn Corbin and Raven, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that Corbin and Raven are the two oldest characters in terms of me designing them. Not the oldest in terms of me coming up with the idea for them, because I think that would be Adrian and Saya and Dergan. I'm not sure, but these were some of the first characters I ever designed, original characters. These are just some studies because I didn't know what to draw, but I felt like drawing in alcohol marker, Bianyo markers. This is Jesse Callahan, and this is Raziel Kabari. I was watching the Jackie Chan movie with Jet Li, with the Monkey King, and I really liked the two characters, the monk guy and, well, Jet Li and Jackie Chan's characters, and I kind of wish the story was just about the two of them because they were so good together, but instead we have idiot male character and boobs lady. Because she served no purpose in the story. She just dies in the end. She doesn't even complete her goal. She sucks. But the two characters, Jackie Chan and Jet Li, I love that, and while I was watching, I came up with an idea called The Monk and the Drunk. So he's a monk and he's a drunk. If I hadn't told you that my inspiration was that movie, you probably would never guess it if I was to tell you about this story, because it kind of went off on a tangent, but I love this story, and one of these days I'm going to talk more about it. I just need to work on it a bit more. Ricky and Derek, I did this in a video, so I'm just going to link to that video, but yeah, love them. They become a couple, and their story is in Scott and Talon's series. I'm thinking book 4 would be their story in it. Okay, so sometimes I paint and I have extra paint on my palette, so I just put it on the page behind marker drawings. I'm almost out of markers, so I don't really do marker drawings much after this sketchbook, but yeah. This is a character who is too good for the role that I gave him because he's dead before the beginning of the story, so I think I'm going to redesign this character and then use this character design for something else because I like him too much. He's too handsome for a dead guy. So more Ricky and Derek. This was my Valentine's Day special video. So I did the last video or the video before? I think it was the video before the last video I posted. Like I said in that video, the watercolors acted really weird on this sketchbook. And it's surprising because I have never seen the watercolors act like this. And this is the second version of the sketchbook that I'm using. But anyway, this is a midpoint. That was coincidence. But this is a midpoint. And then all my characters. So Caden and Emmett is in the same story as Ricky and Derek and Scott and Talon and Harlan and Maggie. So these 4 couples are in the story. And Emmett is Valora's younger cousin. So yeah. More Ricky and Derek. Ricky looks kind of evil in these drawings, but Derek is actually the one who runs the illegal gang and kills people. Not Ricky. Ricky is a good boy police detective who just wants to help people and save them, and Derek is a criminal. But I kind of liked how it looks, so I stuck it in the sketchbook. Harlan and Maggie. Oh, his name used to be Harris Young, but then I changed it because I wanted to. And then during this page, I realized I wanted to redesign them. So that's what I did here. This was in the same video with Ricky and Derek, I think. I'll try to remember to link all these videos. But anyway, her role in the story changed and her personality changed because she was supposed to be leading a rival gang against Harlan. But that has changed. Instead, Derek is the one who runs a gang, and Harlan runs a legitimate company, like a club casino thing, but his cover company is rivals with him. So the company that he uses to launder money and hide all his illegal stuff is rivals. The two of them kind of hate each other, but they kind of respect each other as well. I love their relationship. More Harlan and Maggie because they're cute. He wishes. He really wishes. They knew each other back when they were kids, so neither one of them ever expected that they'd end up together. But he's supposed to be shorter than her. Like, she's not a big person, but he's a tiny guy. So I kind of made him too tall here. So I got some inks, some Winsor Newton calligraphy ink, and some drawing ink. This is archival and this is not. But I got these, and I have some dip pen nibs that I got ages ago from AliExpress. So I decided to just do some sketching. It obviously was done without any sketch. It's not my best work, but I really like this face here. This is for a thing that I have an idea for, but I haven't started working on, so we'll just forget about this for now and come back to it whenever I get back to that. This is Thaddeus. This is another story that I was going to make a comic, but I think I'm just going to have to write the novel because comics take too long to make. I'll probably again end up adapting this one as well. But this is Thaddeus, this is Philip, this is Kyrie, and this is Frost. And I can't remember if I talked about it in another video, but statistically speaking, none of you watching this video have seen my other videos. You should fix that. But anyway, he and Philip and Kyrie grew up together. Philip and Kyrie are brother and sister, and these two end up in a relationship. And they're cute. Which Philip is kind of surprised about, but not opposed to, because he and Thaddeus have been best friends for as long as they can remember. Everybody was surprised that Thaddeus became a knight, and he's actually the strongest knight in the entire kingdom. And nobody expected that because he is a very lazy man who never wanted to be a knight. But when something happened to Kyrie in the past, he made a promise that really only he knows about. Kyrie doesn't know about it, but he made a promise, and this is part of him keeping the promise. The joke is that he would love to make his head bald because he thinks taking care of his hair is too much, but Philip and Kyrie were offended by the idea, and because he values their happiness more than his own comfort, he has hair on his head. Yeah, that's the story behind his hair. Frost is a mysterious woman who Philip falls for, and who she and Kyrie may have a connection. Who knows? I haven't figured that part out yet. I do know she and Philip ends up together. I've started writing this story, but the first book isn't done yet. This is more acrylic that was left on my palette, and this was with the dip pen ink, which is where the calligraphy ink, because, well, not only was my shipment mixed up because they didn't give me the ink that I paid for, it's supposed to be water soluble, but it wasn't moving in water. So that was just weird. The ink was just so weird. This is Nestor. Remember the guy from earlier where I said he was too hot to be a dead guy? He was supposed to be in their story, Nestor and her husband Duncan. Why are all my characters missing legs? The reason is because I can hide their missing limb behind pants. That's why I prefer to have their legs removed than their arms, because then I have to draw them less often. But anyway, I can't wait to do this. This is definitely my next comic after the one I finished. Definitely. I love this story and I can't wait to draw it. But I also wanted to talk about something very briefly. One of these days I'm going to get so irritated I'm going to make my own rant video. I've never done a rant video, but I'll probably make one for this. But look at these two pages. Well, these two spreads. One looks nice and finished, aesthetic, and the other one doesn't. Now, why is this important? Because for some reason, YouTube has been recommending me a lot of videos where people are like, I hate aesthetic sketchbooks. Sketchbooks are supposed to be messy. And then all the comments are like, people with aesthetic sketchbooks make me feel bad because my sketchbooks don't look at that. And I have a few things to say about it. One, who cares? No, seriously, it's my sketchbook. I can do what I want with it. If I want to make it look aesthetic or messy, that's my business. What does that have to do with your sketchbook? Two, it's so easy to make a sketchbook spread look aesthetic. All you have to do is add a border. That's it. That's really the main difference between these two pages. You could say I have a few more drawings on this spread than this spread, but if I was to put a border around this, you wouldn't even notice that. Yeah, that's how you make a spread aesthetic. You put a border. That's it. It's so simple. So when people are complaining about the time it takes to make a spread aesthetic, I want to know if they're actually doing anything in their sketchbook or they're just looking at pictures and assuming that it takes forever to make it look aesthetic. Also, again, it's my sketchbook. I can do what I want with it. I don't get it. This whole hatred for aesthetic sketchbooks and complaining about it online, which, yes, I am aware of the fact that I am now complaining about people complaining about stuff online. But I find most of the art videos I've been seeing lately, they suck. And I think they will actually make beginners fail more. Like the whole, don't draw every day. Drawing every day is toxic. So stupid. Anyway, that is a rant video for later. If you disagree with me, please leave all your angry comments in the comments. I hear it helps boost engagement, but I have no idea. So, you know, do whatever you want. More Duncan, more Nesta. They used to be soldiers and they hated each other when they were younger because they met as teenagers. She was 17 and he was 19. But they didn't become a couple until he was like 29 and she was 27 later on. Though it was after that. He was in his 30s. He was like 30 something. And she was in her late 20s when the two of them became a couple. Which shocked them both and everybody else. Okay, so I'm not going to get too deep into it because I don't want the video to be too long. But their old team was killed in the same incident that had Duncan lose his leg. So the monster they were fighting, Nest only just managed to seal it for a short time and now it's waking back up. So they have to train a new team and go and defeat the monster for good. And these two are part of the new team. This is a new team leader. I really like this green-black hair, but I decided not to go with it. I'm going to use it for another character, but yeah. And she is supposed to be a sort of reflection of Nesta, because he realizes that the team kind of treated Nesta really bad. But there were also a lot of other mistakes that they made when dealing with the younger people when they were soldiers, and he kind of sees Nesta in her and wants to stop her from having the same like PTSD and stuff that Nesta has later. So yeah, she basically becomes his adopted daughter. That's basically what it boils down to. This is them again, me trying to work out their colors and their outfits. I know he is going to be like a broadsword wielder, but she's supposed to be like a spy, so her clothes are not supposed to look like they have armor. This is me trying out new color schemes for Nesta. So yeah, I decided not to go with this and to go back with the original. But I still like these colors, just not for Nesta. They look too happy. And Nesta is a very sad person. As you can see here. Just making her cry all the time. Oh yeah, more of these two. His name is Santiago, he's the third son. I haven't figured out her name yet. I saw some cute pajamas, so I decided to draw them in the pajamas. And then more Nesta, this is going to be her formal soldier outfit, and then this is what she's going to wear generally. She was also like a spy, so I don't want her to wear too much armor. And then, love me please, just a little. This poor woman, I love her so much, and because of that she suffers. I don't understand people who love their characters and make nothing bad happen to them, because the more I love my characters is the more they suffer. This is our same guy from before. His name is Ethan, and he was a team leader, and he died in the past incident with the monster. This was supposed to be his wife, but then I liked her too much, so I'm going to redesign his wife. I'd use this design, well, fix it a little, for another character, because his wife is only supposed to be in one scene, or maybe like 2 scenes, but they're supposed to be a recurring character. That I think I'm going to use this design for. I was getting close to the end of the sketchbook and didn't know what to draw. I needed to fill space. So I did some sketches of Bryn and Trevor in poses that I wouldn't normally use. This was from Pose Maniacs, but like I said, I wanted to get them interacting more with stuff, and then this was foreshortening. And then the monsters that they fight in their comic is based on like reptiles, so I did some studies, and I was supposed to go back and use watercolor to color this in, but I didn't, and I didn't feel like going back after. More Reeve and Morwen. In my new sketchbook, I think I've already done 2 spreads of them because, like I said, I really like these 2 characters. I gave him nipple rings because his backstory is that he was a stripper to pay for university, and I figured he would, but Morwen likes him like this when he's looking all nerdy with his glasses. Like, yeah, he has muscles, but she thinks he's so hot when he's doing his whole nerdy thing because he's a scientist. And then this is Morwen, and I wanted to draw her. Just look at his face, she's adorable. I love this woman so much. She was supposed to be a half orc, but I'm thinking of making a new race for that series, for that world building project. But he is definitely like a shark boy. I'm thinking of making him a merman, but I'm not sure. I know that series is like, that world is going to have sirens, but I'm thinking that mermaids and sirens might be 2 different species. But I'm still working on that. More Nesta and Duncan, look at how cute they are. They really are genuinely in love with each other. They have marriage problems, but they would rather die than not be married to each other. Like they really are in love with each other. Like if he dies, she might follow right after, and if she dies, he will probably never get remarried. So yeah. And I really wanted to draw them together. I really like how this came out. It's hard to draw couples interacting with each other, so that's why I was practicing. But it looked good. It came out good. His face was a little weird, but overall, I like it. And then I wanted to practice some animals. So, sketch with pencil, use some watercolor, inked lines. I was supposed to put a border around this, and then I forgot, and then I didn't feel like doing it. More dip pen portraits. I use Earthswirl, I think, for most of them, and then a random generated pose thing after. And this page was done before this page, that's why this head looks way better than like this one. And then the final page. This was done in dip pen, and I really like it. I wanted to do a kind of post-apocalyptic thing. I have the word next, and 13, but it should have been 14. I know most of you wouldn't have noticed that, but it was bothering me, which is why I don't look at this picture as much anymore. I should have had 14 written on it because this is Sketchbook 13 and the next one is Sketchbook 14. But yeah, I like how it came out. I went straight in with the dip pen, no sketching or anything, and this was really fun. I used about 3 or 4 different images to get this and just kind of combine them all in my head. Yeah. So that is it. Sketchbook number 13. If you like what you've seen, as I said before, I have some of these were videos, so I will again try to link them. And I've been talking about my stories a lot. You can read some of my finished series on the I'll link both of my Amazon pages. I'm doing some work on those, but the stories are finished. So Haley Storm is a finished pirate fantasy series trilogy. Goldfinger is another finished pirate fantasy trilogy that takes place 10 years after Haley Storm. I also have Andata, which is a bodyguard action mystery series that you can check out. And I am going to be posting a new series under the Aiden Quill name this month called Duncalia. The first book is The Warrior in the Key. I've been working on this for 2 years now, this series, and books 1, 2, and 3 are finished written. It's now just to edit book 3 and to get the cover for book 2. But book 1 is ready, and it's going to be out this month, so definitely keep your eye open for that. I have other books that I haven't even mentioned, other series that are really good. I put a lot of effort into it, and I'm going to leave all of that in the description, the links. So, thanks for watching, and here ends this chapter of my life, and on to the next. I'll see you in the next video, where I work on some more gouache painting, practicing some gouache in Sketchbook number 14. Thanks again for watching, and later.